I'm looking for it. For the content. Oh my god! Ah! Has this ever happened to you? Do you want to avoid that happening to you? Well, I'm here today to give you the most comprehensive Maneater survival guide on the internet. Like, comment, subscribe, and survive. The Maneater starts off as a little harmless baby that is kinda cute, but if it finds a player, it will begin to follow it. At the moment, it will be unable to hurt you, but this baby can very easily enter its crying state for a variety of reasons. These are loud noises like dropping scrap, being attacked by an employee, seeing an employee's body, being picked up without being rocked too much, being hit by a flashlight, falling, or being taken outside. When the Maneater enters its crying stage, that's when you have to start to worry. If an employee doesn't find the Maneater fast and rock it within 8 to 16 seconds of it crying, it will transform into a disgusting looking adult Maneater. This is where the real danger begins. It takes about 3 seconds for a crying Maneater to transform into its adult variant. Its attacking behavior is very strange, and if you don't understand it, then you will end up dead. According to both the bestiary and the wiki, it is recommended that when one transforms, it's best to keep your distance, stay in its field of view, and not move too quickly. Though in practice, this is much more difficult than it would seem, and there are actually a few foolproof ways of dealing with a Maneater that will guarantee your survival. To begin, I just want to say to never, ever take a Maneater outside. It will begin to cry, and you cannot console it even if you rock it. When it transforms, it will become much more aggressive than it would be inside, and there is a high chance that it will kill your entire team. If you do decide to take it outside, the best way to deal with it is to just lock it in the back of a company cruiser as it cannot get out and it cannot destroy it. Now, on to the strategies. The easiest way to keep a Maneater in check is to simply rock the Maneater when it begins to cry as a baby. Though this can get very annoying very, very quickly as this method requires so much maintenance. My personal favorite way to get rid of it is to just drop it down a pit and get rid of it forever, though this method can have many issues if you aren't careful. If you find a Maneater in a factory, you can drop it down the pit in a large factory room, but not anywhere else. If you can't find this pit, you can always stick it in the ceiling in an apparatus room. Dropping it down a smaller hole in the facility will cause it to just teleport right back up. You can drop it down the water on March, or you can drop it in the small holes within the mine shaft. If you drop it down anywhere not mentioned, unless of course I forgot to mention one, it will just come right back up for you. So just make sure that you know what you're doing if you try this method. Now, let's say that the Maneater is already transformed. While this may just cause your entire team to die a lot of the time, there are actually a few ways to deal with this guy to increase your chance of survival by a lot. Firstly, the easiest way to deal with this is just to simply leave the facility. But let's say you want to keep getting scrap. You can actually stun them, leaving room to either run or attack them. Though they take 5 shovel hits to kill, so that may be difficult, I would recommend using a shotgun if you have one to kill them much faster. If you decide to run, you can dodge them pretty easily as they attack incredibly similar to eyeless dogs. Their attack pattern looks a little bit like this. They'll sprint at you for a little under a second, then they stand still and recover for about 2 seconds, and if you time your movement right, you might be able to still get out alive. If it has yet to chase you, that's when you can slowly back up and it won't attack you. Though if it does begin to chase you, I would recommend employing some of the tactics I mentioned here to deal with it and survive as well as you can. These little guys are some of the most dangerous enemies added into Lethal Company, and they require constant attention if you cannot get rid of them properly. Good luck in your next encounter, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe!